So today I'm going to talk about the country South Korea. So when I hear somebody say South Korea, first thing I like that comes to my mind is like K-pop culture and the cosmetic surgeries, the plastic surgeries, where women and all the makeups videos we can see nowadays where they look like beautiful and something else on the real life. So today we are here to talk about the South Asian cultures. The South Asian culture is same as any of the Asian people cultures. There's a lot of things that are going on in South Korea. South Korea is the eastern part of the Asia, surrounded by water, sharing the Korean peninsula. So it's the name. So is the name given. So they have four distinct seasons: long winter, very short summer, short spring, and autumn. The capital city of the South Korea is Seoul, and it's composed of and the South Korea is composed of 17 first-tier administrative division, 16 metropolitan city, one special autonomous city, and 9 provinces. The Moon Jae-in, he's one of the perplexed person and also the prime minister of the South Korea. The time has shortlisted him on the fifth position for the person of the year in 2018. He has been trying to negotiate peace with the North Korea. So he's one of the, I'll say, kind of a famous and a peaceful, loving prime minister who is trying to negotiate between both the countries. And for when you want to travel to the South Korea, so when you are a US citizen, you just need a valid passport, and so the visa, it's an arrival, and you can be on South Korea for any reason, a business or tourist, and you can stay there for 90 days without any problem. And the next is next thing is I'm going to talk about is the culture and the lifestyle of the people of the South Korea. So when in the like most of the Asian cultures, when you enter any people houses of the South Korea, just leave your shoes outside, and it is believed to be rude when you enter their house with your shoes on. Like in America we don't have it, but in most of the Asian countries we do have that tradition in the houses. And its culture, the South Korea culture is mostly influenced by the Chinese and the Japanese. They believe in sincerity and loyalty, and they live with certain kind of codes and cultures and manners. So they have etiquette and everything in eating, in meeting people, in greeting, and also in celebrating. So when people when they come together and like talk, and so they bow to each other as a sign of the gesture of sincerity and respect. So every time, according to the Globalization Partners International, Korean is the official language, and people from the South and North Korea, even Korean is the language. They have different dialects from which region they come. And one thing to keep in mind when you are in South Korea is like not everyone knows the English. Korean is their main language, and English has been teaching, they have been teaching in the schools, but they are mostly on the private side of the school, so not everybody knows English when you go there. So, and the Koreans, they are mostly on Christians and Buddhist side. And when you go to Korea, you can see a lot of their lifestyles that are influenced by the Buddhist culture. And on the Korean lifestyles, we can still see the family members, like adults, like grandparents, living with the families, and they share, grandparents help actually kids raise there. So it's like we can see the multi-generational families living together in one house. And as Korean festivals go on, their festivals are mostly based on the harvest. So when you have harvest time on the crop, and when you are sowing the crops, and that is where the time the festivals are based on. So we can see the celebration, it's all full of life, colors, and joy. Korean foods, when it comes to the foods, the Korean foods are actually spicy. Not everyone can handle it, and their food mostly consists of rice, noodles, and vegetables and meats. And even when you are eating, they do have certain etiquettes and manners on the table. So they have all their own different manners, a polite manner when you are even eating the food. So they mostly communicate with a firm manner and use like less hand and facial expressions. They are with the words, and they don't have their personal space. So like when you go to the Korea, you can see the people like coming really close to you, and even you are the stranger, they don't care. They come close to you and talk to each other, and it's like they don't care about your personal space. So and when they are in the serious discussions, they make like full eye contact with the people, and with all the other person. The biggest contribution in the world of sport in South Korea is taekwondo, but nowadays the people are mostly towards the Western style, like soccer, baseball, and football. And the South Korea has been qualified to the FIFA World Cup since 1986. They have been going to the games with the FIBA games, and they are on most of the time they are on the top. The South Koreans, they have a strong economical condition, so it will be very beneficial for our US also when we start our trade with them. So if the South Korean people are mostly influenced on like fashion, cars, and mobile phones. So they are mostly interested on the foreign products, so like our American products, our American fashion bags. And also if we do a trade with them, and if we use them, and if we do a trade with them and with a business with them, I think it will be more successful. So with all this information about the South Korea geographical, political, cultural, and economic life of the people and about the country, I did share some do's and don'ts while traveling to the country, and also about the gestures and manners. So after all this, I think everyone has a good idea about South Korea. Thank you.